Hello there, and welcome to the next episode or next leg of the journey, whatever you want to call it. We are in Nevada, maybe 20 miles into Nevada. What's kind of interesting is I've got basically 160 miles of these roads. So we'll get to High Rock Canyon, I would assume, in the next hour or so. I was advised by the BLM worker that I ran into right on the California-Nevada border not to go too deep into the canyon being alone. He said there's still quite a bit of water that's flowing through there. And he said, you'll probably be fine, but he's like, if you do get stuck, there's nobody there to help you. And so we'll see what we see when we do get there. But for now, we got 100 miles more of dirt roads. It's kind of an interesting place to be because there's just nothing. There's no services for 100 miles in any direction. I keep saying 100, it's probably like 80, but whatever. So once we get to High Rock, we're going to have to really conserve fuel too. We'll wander around throughout some of the canyons, probably skirt some of the deeper stuff just to follow up on that BLM guy's advice. But beyond that, we got to make sure we've got at least a third of a tank to be able to get down to Gerlach to refuel. And then we will dip back into the Black Rock Desert side of High Rock area. It's kind of all one big wilderness study area, but there's two sections to it. So that's sort of the plan. But let's get to it, and I'll shut my mouth. Welcome.
What's up, antelope? Staring me down. Just about to start entering into High Rock. I think as we get up and above this, we start to get into it.
Petrified forest, huh? High Rock Canyon Wilderness Area. Kind of cool. Very desolate. I mean, remote, whatever word you want to use there. There's like nobody back in here. I haven't seen anybody for hours. And those were closer to the town of Cedarville, California. Pretty. Not quite what I was expecting, I'll be honest. I suspect as I get further back into this canyon, like we'll get some more good rock formations and whatnot, which I was expecting. But I thought it'd be more off-roady just from the warnings I got. This road, it's better than 90% of Washington's primary developed forest roads. Says something about Washington, I guess. Anyway, let's keep traveling. Interesting. Well, I definitely now understand the warnings about being careful back here alone. The further back I got, I kept pushing, of course, you know me. The deeper this powdery, dusty mix of dirt, sand, and alkali got. And there were a few spots I had to hit fast just to make sure I made it through. If this was wet, this would be a nightmare. It'd be damned easy to get stuck back in the middle of nowhere. And I did actually pass like a small little ranch, off-grid ranch, but that was 10.5 miles back, so that'd be a long walk. But we're turning around here. This is supposed to be High Ass Lake. It is obviously a dry alkali flat right now, but there used to be some cabins and stuff here. I assume there used to be a ranch before the lake dried up. So let's take a peek at that, make some coffee, and then get back out of here. We're getting down to where I probably should consider getting to Gerlach and getting some gas, and maybe spraying some of this dust off the Jeep because it's making the brakes and everything noisy as hell. Anyway, just checking in. What kind of bug is that? Well, good evening to you folks, and welcome to the end of this episode, and welcome to tonight's campsite. It's not a bad little campsite. I folded in some shots that I took around camp before I filmed this. These are probably the only trees in quite a ways from here, and so I took advantage of them for their shade. I pulled in here about 4 o'clock. It was 90 degrees. Made for a cozy place to kind of kick back and rest. Now that I've got more shade, we're going to make some dinner and, I don't know, hang out, call it a night. It was a good day today. Headed up into the High Rock Canyon wilderness area. We stuck pretty much to the main High Rock road. Didn't want to go down all of the spurs simply because, one, I needed to preserve gas to be able to get down here. It's the only town in miles. And also because I know that there were some springs running and some streams that were still flowing back in there. And all of that dirt is this like super fine alkali dust. And so even the dust itself in places was 2 or 3 feet thick and took some speed to get through without spinning. And so I can only imagine if it was wet. Decided it was better to play it safe. Really cool country though, very interesting geologically, and the history there, when I started looking it up a little bit, it's been populated for at least 10,000 years. There's cave dwellings back in there, there's petroglyphs back in there. We did see some of the cave dwellings, didn't hike up to them though, so I didn't really know what they were. I just saw a cave. Should have probably, but it was so hot, I just didn't feel like it. Anyway, all that being said, we are perched, a few miles from Gerlach, Nevada. It's the only real town over here, and in the morning we're going to drop back down into town and then head north along the eastern edge of 12 Mile Playa, which is where they hold Burning Man in August. Going to work through that whole Black Rock Desert Wilderness area as we continue drifting north towards Winnemucca. So that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching as always. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you on down the road.